We are always excited to talk to our first guest of the day here, Tyler. Steve Kaplan, our fine West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. Always great to have you. How are you?
Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Tyler. Good morning to both of you. I really enjoy watching your show and listening to it on the radio.
Well, thank you so much. I have to say, I love the sunshine coming through your windows.
Yes. It's a bright day for us.
It's like the sign of spring, but better days ahead.
You know it. That's what we're all hoping for.
So let's talk about that, Steve. With that, we are hoping for better days ahead. The vaccine has kind of given that to us, but what's the status of the vaccine there in the West Bloomfield area?
We wish we had more opportunities, that more vaccines are available. The county is overseeing the distribution of the vaccine, Oakland County Health Department, and they're doing very well. We at the township have attempted to help our residents by hosting vaccines at our fire station on Orchard Lake Road next to the high school. But one disappointing aspect is residents call here, and we always love hearing from our residents, but they think it's the township who would be scheduling the vaccines, and it's the county. The county has done very well. I have to offer kudos and accolades to them.
I will say, I think I saw a report yesterday where they were breaking down in the local area the number of vaccines and who distributed the most, and Oakland County was the lead compared to Wayne County, Macomb County, and some of the other surrounding counties. They are doing a great job, but it's like you said, people don't know where they can, and that's why the Oakland County, they have a program for people to sign up to try to get the vaccine.
Right. The analogy would be if you're a retail store and you have a wonderful product to sell, but you're not able to gain quantities from the distributor, then you have to turn away customers. And therefore, there are residents who have not had the opportunity to receive their vaccines. But at the fire station where we're presiding, so to speak, it's well organized, and we're pleased that we are able to help our residents.
Yeah, we've been so lucky to have Chief Flynn on with us during some of the drive-through vaccination programs. It really is like an orchestra, how they're getting them through and getting them through quickly. But again, you have to go through the county, and they have more than 500,000 people signed up for that right now. So with that, though, we can kind of shift focus because we know the county doesn't distribute or really have any control over the vaccine. It's through the county. But one thing that is a good thing that's going on right now, do you want to talk to us about the restaurant relief program?
Yes. So the county provided funding or funding availability to townships in order to help our restaurants with outdoor seating. And we received approximately $19,237 worth of funding through the county. Now, not all municipalities are participating, Ronnie and Tyler, because it's cumbersome, there's administrative work involved, but our thought is if we could help even one restaurant on one night, we're doing well. So 7 restaurants have received igloos or greenhouses through the township, and those 7 restaurants are Nona Maria's, Soul Cafe, Jagged Fork, 1011 Grill, Crispelli's, J. Alexander's, and Jersey Bagel. So that means you can eat in the igloo outside, it's heated, there are propane tanks, and I know our residents appreciate that opportunity. And then there's funding available beyond that where the 7 restaurants can seek reimbursement through the county, and we serve as the intermediary to make it easy for the restaurants. They don't have to deal with the paperwork. We provide that for them.
You know what? You're really like an unsung hero in all of this because when it comes to some of the restaurants and them trying to navigate the funding and what they can do and what they can't do, we've seen a difference even between Keiko Harbor. They were able to get in early with some of the funding to get the greenhouses for some of their restaurants where Sylvan Lake didn't apply for it. And for those restaurants, it can be a lifeline even at only 25% capacity. So what's been the feedback for you from the members of the restaurant community?
The restaurants are appreciative. As you know, many restaurants have closed, which is a It's a calamity. It's sad for the community because restaurants, in a way, are a lifeline for people. In fact, oftentimes when people gallivant, when they're out together, whatever they're doing, they talk about their favorite restaurants. And here, with restaurants closing, as I said, very sad. But we're doing our share. You gave me the compliment, but it's really our staff that has undertaken the efforts. And we are just pleased that we can do anything to help our community.
Steve Kaplan with us here on the MegaCast. He, of course, is the West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. Chris Belli's is one of my favorite little restaurants to go to. And we know that even though restaurants are allowed to reopen for in-person dining, it's 25% capacity. So, Steve, have you heard from some of these restaurants how important these outside entities, igloos or greenhouses, are for them to be able to continue to serve more people?
Sure, the greenhouses and igloos do not constitute a panacea for them, but imagine if you're able to accommodate 12 additional patrons on a given evening until 10 p.m. because of igloos and greenhouses. It's a godsend. It not only generates revenues, but it enables them to maintain their customer base.
What's the backstory on this? How does it work? So let's say we come out of the pandemic. Is there any back repayment from the restaurants, or this is just basically a gift to them per se from the taxpayers to say, we want you to stay open?
Sure, no cost at all for the restaurants. And as I said, we're even helping with costs beyond that, up to $60,000.
Yeah, we know that for some of them, the cost really comes in from the propane, from some of these outdoor heaters. Is anything being done to help address that on a county level?
Sure. Well, good question. From a local level, propane is part of the cost or is part of the offering that we give to the restaurants. And I think that's included in the $60,000 in out-of-pocket expenses that restaurants incur.
Steve Kaplan with us here on the MegaCast. Steve, I don't know about you, but I'm like eyeing these little greenhouses. I didn't know they existed prior to this. And now that I'm seeing them, because I like them better than the igloos, but I'm like, I need one in my backyard now.
Yes, no, they're interesting. They're a conversation topic.
So, hey, what else is going on in the county?
All right, at the township, what we're doing, well, you're familiar, of course, and so is Tyler, with our household hazardous waste days. I know our residents look forward to those. We offer them twice per year. This year, it'll be May 1 and October 2nd, and those are Saturdays between 9 and 2. But also, if residents wish to drop off hazardous waste or recycling on Friday, we accept appointments, I believe, up to 300. So just call Town Hall if you'd like to participate on Friday instead of Saturday on May 1. But the new aspect for us in the new format, and I know Debbie Macon will be on very soon, and I know that she appreciates it because she's a recycling person. We offer now 3 shredding days, 3 separate shredding days. And those dates are April 17, July 30, and October 6. But we have estimated that when the typical resident arrives at Town Hall for household hazardous waste, 25% of them have shredding, they have documents that they want shredded. And of the 25%, probably 50% of them are at Town Hall simply for shredding and not for recycling purposes or depositing, dropping off household hazardous waste. So therefore, we felt if we offer more shredding days and have shredding only on those 3 days, it'll be much easier for our residents. The fact is, and I know Debbie Macon's been there, we have people waiting in line. This is incredible. It starts at 9 and 7 o'clock cars are lined up. So if we can limit the number of cars, Ronnie, by having shredding on 3 separate days as we now are offering, that'll accommodate our residents.
Steve, number one, I love that people are thinking this far ahead. Number 2, we have a shredder, like a little shredder at home. So that part to me is really kind of amazing that people wait, because you can get those shredders like at Best Buy for $20, $25. My husband's problem is he over jams them. I'm like, stop. you do it in sections. But I will say, when it comes to the hazardous waste, like, so many people right now during the pandemic are cleaning out their homes. I know that even in our house, when we had our small electrical fire, which prompted us to start doing a little bit of cleaning, it must be 20 different gallons of old paint. So do you anticipate that the load is going to be much bigger this year because people are spending so much more time at home doing more home restorations and also cleaning out the clutter?
We anticipate that the amount of items and the weight involved at household hazardous waste will probably increase by 33% per homeowner. And we also know that because we talked to GFL, which is our waste hauler, and GFL has estimated that their pickups have increased by 33 to 50%. And they're really absorbing the cost because we have a flat rate with our residents for our single waste hauler, GFL, known as Green for Life. So you're right, because people are remaining home, they're not going out as much, they're cooking more. And my wife has become a good cook.
What about you, though? Have you learned to cook?
I know how to use a microwave oven.
Hey, we got an air fryer for Christmas. Have you tried that? Even you can handle that and not burn anything, really.
It's on my list of new accomplishments.
Steve Kaplan with us on the Oakland County Megacast. He's the West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. Steve, going back to household hazardous waste, the city of Keego Harbor will be eligible to join this event this year, coming up, of course, that on May 1st, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That, of course, could increase the traffic even further. There's always usually a line down the Walnut Lake Road heading into the town hall complex. Of course, the shredding days will help mitigate some of that traffic, as you said, because of the number of people that are going to household hazardous waste for shredding services. Is there anything else that the supervisor's office, along with the police department or the fire department, are doing to maybe help mitigate the traffic situation in West Bloomfield on those household hazardous waste days, now that there is another municipality's worth of people that are eligible to join in?
Keego Harbor's population, I believe you would know, Tyler, is probably less than 2,000, fewer than 2,000 residents. We don't anticipate a huge amount of vehicles, but maybe that's another 100, Tyler, another 200 people. But we can accommodate it by separating shredding from household hazardous waste in separate days. I think that's going to be the main distinction, the main way that we can limit the number of traffic. Sure, we received calls at our last household hazardous waste day from residents who are angry about waiting in line an hour or 2 hours, and that's understandable. We don't want to squander anybody's time. But every year we improve. And Kathy Cedarland and Amy Neary from our staff oversee Household Hazardous Waste Day, and they are just stupendous employees. And then we have volunteers. So anybody who would like to volunteer at HHW, let us know.
Steve Kaplan with us. He's the West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. And Steve, going back to the vaccine, as we just have another couple of minutes here with you, of course, all of this is being organized through Oakland County or through individual healthcare providers, but a lot of people do contact the township, as you said earlier, about vaccines, about whether or not more clinics will be popping up. The way to sign up for this is mostly online or by contacting Oakland County itself, and I think there's a lot of confusion, particularly among the older population, about how to go about doing that. Is there any plans at the township level to provide assistance to residents as they try to get their space in line for those that maybe are not tech savvy or need to find other ways to get on some of these lists?
Good question, Tyler. We wish we could wave a magic wand and everybody would receive their vaccines. That would just be wonderful. What we do is we explain the process. Some people just want to know, whom do I call? When do I call? How long is the wait likely to be? So we serve as a conduit providing the information. And as you know, the number is 858-1280 for Oakland County Public Health Department, 858-1280. And I don't want to sound as though I'm a cheerleader for the county, but I'm very pleased with Dave Coulter and Hillary Chambers and the staff at the executive's office.
And we also have to give a shout out to Bill Mullen for helping us out last week. with our, COVID-19 vaccine town hall. He was able to get us Dr. Faust on the show at the last moment. So we want to say thank you to him because it really is valuable information. We try to put it in one place for people. Hey, Steve, Supervisor, it's always great talking to you.
Well, thanks, Ronnie and Tyler. Always a pleasure talking to you. You do a great job. We appreciate you here at Town Hall.